Today, we're talking about get going. I had a little pause there because I just heard that it might be raining outside. So, yeah, I just need to be quick with it. But we're here to chill. Don't worry about it. I can fix it in post. It's a very scary thing to say. But I think that's a great start because it has been a week since the new year. Suddenly, we're jumping into a very serious mode because I've been meeting people for the past year, back in 2004. Now we're in the new year and we're still having the same conversations of we're going to get it done. We are going to move. We are going to start this thing. But me personally, I have conquered a lot of challenges last year. I have gone through the whole business thing. I'm still doing it. I have gone through the whole running thing. I'm still doing it. I'm discovering new things. I'm still going. And I don't think that anything that I'm doing is perfect. Even this podcast, and I will admit that I'm slightly disappointed at myself at the first podcast because it comes to a point where this is a little bit sidetracked where as much as we say, oh, you got to get going, you don't have to care about perfectionism, you don't have to care so much about the technical and that kind of thing. It comes to a certain point where I feel we need to address the standard of what we have achieved before. And something like the first podcast, what's wrong with it basically is the technical aspects of the audio, how it was treated and just thrown up online. I didn't really do any prior testing to it. And you might think that, oh, that's very perfectionist of you to get everything right. But I have done it so many times to the point where it is audioable. It can be played on multiple platforms. And there could be things where you, because you're not trained, the untrained ear, you don't understand that I do. And what I'm trying to say is that it was very painful to listen to, not my voice, but the audio itself, because it wasn't cleaned correctly. I didn't even clean it. I just dropped it in and just like put it up there thinking that, hey, really just get going, doesn't really matter. But coming back to the main topic, I believe this is exactly the example which I want to push forth to everyone else because I got going. I made the first podcast because I said that this year I was going to start a podcast to document my journey on More Better Human and the rest of it, so on and so forth. And I did. The first one went up. And even in the first one, I talked about, hey, I was procrastinating a little bit before putting it up because, I have time. Everybody feels like they have a lot of time. Everybody feels that the comfort zone is the fine place. And it is a very nice and comfy place. Like, why would we want to go to out of our way to have discomfort? It's painful. It's dangerous. It's very heart-wrenching, especially when you fail. But if you want to achieve a greater self and also an expansion of the brain, higher possibilities in life, and a place where you can be more fulfilled and explore the world, so on and so forth, that's why we do hard things, to break through our common limiting belief that we have right now. My entire life, whatever I've been through was because I have broken my own limiting belief. And honestly, it took very long. One example I can think of at the top of my head, which I keep talking about, is running. When I first started running, it was the hardest thing to do. I could only run probably about a kilometer at, this is a bit, okay, I'm not embarrassed about it because now I understand where I'm coming from. But the timing for a KM was 12 minutes. 12 minutes pace for a kilometer. That was how fast I was. It is slow. It's very, very slow. It was slow to the point where I was cramping up and people were walking beside me. No, they were strolling beside me. That's how slow I was. And I was thinking that, hey, I'm pretty fast. I actually can run now. But, it was only the first 1 to 3, 4 months in, you know, putting out that work inside, and then you're thinking that, no, I don't think that I'll be able to run in my life ever. And I just kept to it. I followed the schedule. I followed what my coach had said. I just stuck to it 5 days a week. Okay, not 5 days a week. I only did 4. But like, I did that. Then when I did the half marathon, do you know what happened? My leg cramped up at 17 km in. I had to walk the 21 km that I did for the Garmin half marathon, the one that I was actually being trained for. So it's a failure. Everything was a failure. I couldn't run. But today, as I made this podcast, this morning I woke up at 5 a.m. I had my bagel with bananas and honey. I feel like a very commoner now because everyone does that. I just copying other people. I used to not eat carbs. Okay, sidetracking too much. But I ate that. I went for a 10K run. 10K slow run. I've been doing it for the past 2 days too. So I've clocked up 30 km. And it's slow. How slow? 8 minutes per pace. 8 minutes per kilometer. Way better than what I started off with. But it is still considered slow compared to all the other people who are going at like pace, 4 minutes per km. That's really, really fast. Fast in my context, because if I go my marathon pace, or at least my race pace, it's 6 minutes per km, which is still considered slow. So I'm still a beginner in this. But I guess we're coming back to the point on, I just got going, and over time, I improved. It took a very long time. It's still taking a long time, but I kept showing up. I kept doing the thing, and I kept believing that one day I would be able to do whatever I did. And practically, when we look on the ground of how I was actually training, you don't see the numbers jumping from 12 minutes to 8 minutes per kilometer almost instantly. It takes months. It took me months to get it to there. And that's something that a lot of people kind of don't have. Patience. People scroll through social media getting that instant gratification too fast, that they kind of want that same type of reward, which does not really exist. Because why? Not why, but it's so far everyone has been primed to have that sort of instant gratification because of the things that we are, the environment that we are in. So that is quite harmful, I would say. And how I got over instant gratification was knowing that I need to set realistic goals for myself. I used to be this guy who tried to do everything all at once. I still have not watched that movie, but I tried to do everything all at once by thinking that I can be the best at doing everything. The reason why I thought I could do everything was because if I could achieve something at the first round, without even having any practice on that kind of thing, that means I would believe that I would achieve anything. But that's not really the case. You don't set yourself a task saying that tomorrow I'm going to climb Mount Everest. If I don't climb Mount Everest, then I'm going to be very disappointed in myself. Like, bro, we have not even trained up for Mount Everest. I have not even booked my flight to Mount Everest, and I want to climb Mount Everest tomorrow. It's like, it doesn't work like that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I see myself in a lot of the people that I meet, especially the younger people that I meet, who are just getting inside the industry, just getting into art, just getting into design. And, they're looking for advice and guidance on how do you become a better artist. I would say, well, you need to live more. You don't need to care so much about the craft, but that's a whole conversation later on. How they are taking it is, when you come to art and you're doing something which doesn't really have a defined answer, everything really comes from the heart, because you need to be intentional on what you want to do. Then you'll be guided by your intuition for you to create whatever you want to do. So if you're out there trying to create a painting and you say that you want to do it in this particular form, whatnot, but you're not sure when to start, you're not sure how to do, Well, there is not an original thought in the world. So someone has done it before, or someone has done something similar before. Go and learn. Once you learn from them, get inspired by them, then you can come back with the materials that you have absorbed and you can do. That's why I say that if you don't know anything at the start and you feel you're not sure where to go and absorb, go and learn, because the answers are already out there. You just have to go and find it. And speaking about this, sometimes there are a lot of double negatives where the unknown is unknown to you because you just have not crossed it. Because you don't swim far and wide and deep enough in the world for you to actually come across it. And a lot of people are so centralized with their mind where actually I used to be like this too. I used to be a person who says I know it all because I have done stuff before in life and I believe that it's all the same. Why did I believe it like that? Because I brought it down to its simplest form and I found that if it's so easy to understand, then it should be easy to do, much like cooking. If I can just follow a whole baking list, ingredient list, just follow it, put it together, then I would bake the best bread in the world. And I would be happy that I don't have to buy bread from anyone else. But baking is an art. It's an art form. It's a culinary art, which takes years to master. Sure, I can follow an ingredient list, put it together, but not having that drunk level of mastery where you don't follow the cups anymore. You just know by aggregation or, by assumption, basically, that you can just come up with the best ingredients because you have done it over and over again. I was reading a book before and the person said that there isn't really the 10,000 hour rule. I forgot where the 10,000 hour came from, but there isn't really this 10,000 hours thing. You basically can be a master if you just put small incremental time and practice, deliberate practice into whatever you do. If you want to play an instrument, set aside 10 minutes a day to, okay, not really 10 minutes, but like set aside some time to go and do it every single day for years on end, and you will become a master because that's the only way to get it done. You can do all the other techniques of how to remember it. You can do like interleaving, you can do like flashcard kind of things, you can do different tempo, speed, and whatever. But ultimately, you have to sit down and you have to practice. You have to get going, which again falls back into the whole theme of the podcast today, which is just get going. At the start, the certain things that you need to know when you are pursuing basically anything. You will be lost. You will make mistakes. You will not understand everything, and that is okay. Everything that you do at the start as a beginner is okay. You don't have to be too hard on yourself because, like, why would you be hard on yourself when you don't even know what you're being hard on? You don't have to be this person who is so serious about trying to ace everything. And speaking of which, I forgot to bring up this example just now when I was making a link to the whole reason why I was so hard on myself when I was younger. As art is not a defined answer subject, practice, compared to math and science, or my limited knowledge of math and science, where there is a defined answer, 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing. Art could be like 1 + 1 = a window or something like that. So anyway, the whole grading thing was taken from school. And because art is subjective, you can't put a grade on the things that you do in the outside world. You can go to design school, art school. They can grade you on your technical strokes. They can give you like a range like A to B, A to ungraded, basically. And you just have to follow based off the teaching principles that they teach you, and you just got to apply them. But anything outside of design school, art school, when you are in the outside world and you try to create something, there is no grading system. So it was hard for me to find that A in life. It was hard for me to feel satisfied, validated, knowing that whatever work I put out there was an A. How do you know whatever I put out there is an A? It means anything to anyone, and will it do well for me in the future, and so on and so forth? I did not know any of this. And that's why I was hard on myself, because I just could not put together something that was similar to the school system. That's why I was hard on myself, because I was thinking, yeah, it's not doing anything. Therefore, I think it's such a waste of time. Like, why should I even pursue anything else? Because I did this whole work for the past 2-3 years, and then no one's watching it. Like, I did this short film, no one's watching it, no one's giving me the likes, no one is coming to my premiere. But no, that's not the case. The reason why you pursue art, the reason why you create art is a reflection of your life. It's a response. Creativity is a response to basically anything in life. When you fall in love and you want to create a song because you like something, you have that feeling and you start jamming out to it. It's a response. When you feel angry and you want to take a bucket of paint, splatter on a canvas, that will be splatter painting. It's a response. You want to make a short film and then you want to make a comedy sketch about, I don't know, your daily life at the office type thing. I don't know. But you get what I mean? It's a response to life, and what you make of it, or how you create it, is completely up to you. And how you validate it is how, I don't want to be the one to like give you the advice to do it. How I feel about it is, as long as it fits with my core values and my mission, then I would feel that it has succeeded. And if it does have a response back where people say, hey, I felt something watching whatever you did, then I feel validated even more. But to be able to get my response out into the world, I feel that's more than enough, because we're all fighting for attention these days. So I don't really need anyone to give me that attention to say that, hey, you know what you created is the best thing on earth. I don't need that kind of thing. I just want to create because I like to create. I create because I feel that me as another voice on a platform or in the world can help someone move forward in life, and which is what I'm literally doing right now. So I am very happy to be here, to be doing this. It's a privilege for me to be able to have mastered the craft that I'm doing. And actually, you know what? Now let's have some nice, thankful gratification. Congratulating myself. I feel like it feels so weird, like a K-pop idol trying to say like, hey, you know, I did something good kind of thing. But, you know, if I did not start, coming back to the main topic, if I did not start about 15 years ago, picking up my Nokia phone, strapping it to a stick and saying, hey, let's try to make a home video, I would never have made it to today, sitting in front of multiple cameras, sitting in front of a good home studio, creating this video, and, you know, being able to share the joys of whatever I've learned in life to other people, learn and disseminate. Hopefully this gets out to someone who is still in that, you know, on the fence of, I really want to do something, but I'm not really sure yet if I am able to do it. You are. Everything you need is already here. You don't need another book. You don't need another podcast. You actually can just turn off my podcast. Just start doing your thing. You don't need anything else. What you need to do is just to get started. And all the other answers will be revealed to you as you slowly progress in life. It is what it is. That's just how life works. And that's the whole adventure of life, because the more that you travel, explore, whatever you're doing, the hidden gems, that's a kind of weird word to use. It's like ooh. Anyway, I'll talk about that next time. All these things will be uncovered, and then it's an adventure. It's a fun little gold nugget inside the earth, which we will find throughout life. And it's exciting. And that's how life is exciting. It keeps life fresh. You won't get stagnant at any point in time. But yeah, that's the entire topic of what I want to talk today. Just get going. It's the start of the year. 1 week has passed already, and we are, less weeks. I always like counting down to the end of the year because that really puts you on deaf ground to say like, hey, okay, I really got to get whatever I'm doing done right now. So go, my friends. Go and start whatever you want to do. It is time. No more thinking about it too hard. Don't take it too seriously. Enjoy your life. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the process.